This week in gaming, GTA 6 pre-orders might go live sooner than we think. The Switch 2 is getting a price increase, and GameStop gets stock blocked. This is the Nerd Cave News, and I am one of your hosts, Zach Dykes, joined by my good friend and co-host, Derek to the Daniel. Derek, how's it going?
Pretty good, man. I'll say, been in an interesting week, in the news wise. We got a jam-packed show for you tonight, guys, because we got, as you alluded to in the intro, we've got a little spectrum. It's not just all bad. It's not about layoffs. It's not about, studio closures, but, it's got some interesting tidbits. And just a note, we are actually starting on time for once. It's not like 5-10 minutes later. We are finally. It can happen once in a blue moon.
We were right at 7 o'clock. I'm just saying it can happen. Miracles can come true. Oh, yeah. Howdy, Nate. Welcome to the show. And Nate, I see you liking all the Dungeon Crawler Carl stuff. How far are you into the series? I just finished book 4 today. I'm on book 5 now of the series. I've been eating through these, Derek. I've been eating through these. Right. I know you're not a reader. All right. You don't like reading,
Even though we went to Troy University.
Even though we went to Troy, we read and everything. But I think these would, like the audiobook side, I think you would actually enjoy these and everything. But it's great. The 8th book literally just came out this week. Came out Tuesday, so I'm excited. 3 hours left in book 3. Let's go. Book 3 is really good. I enjoy book 3. That's with the tangle and everything, the iron tangle. It's a good one. Book 4 is really good. 7 hours left. Okay. Well, it said and hours left in book 3, and then you gave me a 3. Michael, what's up? How you doing tonight? Let us know how you doing. Derek, we could talk about books. I could talk about Dungeon Crawler Carl all day long because, man, oh, man, I am enjoying the mess out of it. But I got to know, Derek, have you washed yourself clean? Have you... are you white as spotless as snow this week? Have you actually played a video game? What you been playing?
Yeah, I actually picked up. It's mainly because I guess you can call it the 4th game in the series. Got announced a few weeks ago, or unveiled a few weeks ago, that I finally decided it was time to get into a little game or little series called Metro. So I started, the first one in the series, Metro 2033. It's the Redux version. It's like the remastered versions for the first 2 games on PlayStation 4. It's interesting. It's definitely like an interesting start because, of course, it's post-apocalyptic Russia. It's all nuclear Armageddon down there. Like, you live in the tunnels. It's all dark and dank. You got these mutated naked mole rats running around trying to kill you.
So do they look like you?
Rude. First of all.
It was right there, Derek. I had to do it. It was there. So there's little Derek's running around trying to kill you.
No, those would be John Stevenson because I need to kill.
You are John Stevenson. You are John Stevenson.
No,
yes,
no,
you are.
That is an Earth 3 version of me.
Anyway, keep going. There's little Derek's running around.
So, and the story, it's not really getting going, but I'm only in like middle of chapter 2. So, I mean, I'm still like early on in the game. So I know it's like, you're going there to get stuff, like you're going there to get supplies, going to do this and that and the other. Really. And then, these spaces that you get to, like the little safe wards you get to, very crowded. You can definitely feel like the tightness of being in a tunnel, like, with people around every corner having to, like, push through and like elbow through, and you're just like, I don't know how big the guy is because it's the first person point of view, but you can just imagine being cramped. So if you're claustrophobic, you may not like the setting all too well, but fighting the enemies in like the dark, of course, you do have light, you do have fire that you can start. It's not like you're totally like Lost in the Darkness, but it does, the atmosphere does ramp up a lot by being in these zones. And the weapons, I've only got like your typical starter weapons like your pistol, your machine gun, and your shotgun. I just got the shotgun.
Mm.
Shotgun, of course, does a lot of damage close range, and then interesting little mechanic that they did, and I remember it being, I think it may be in Last Light, the second game, where they change it up a little bit because there's the currency in it is military grade bullets. So of
Mm.
course, it's higher value, so you get to buy stuff. Of course, you get to buy ammo, health packs, gas masks, because you have to. Sometimes you go into radiation zones. Sometimes you have to go above ground where it's nothing but radiation up above. And the gas masks only have like a certain limit on them that they can make before you have to change it out or change the filter. But and now the second station you get to, you come across a vendor that can do like upgrades, like add a silencer, add like a little bit recoil, like reduced recoil type of thing. So you have, of course, the military bullets you find initially are scarce, so you have to spend it
Yeah.
wisely. You have to know, what you want to do, what kind of paths you want to take. But I remember in Last Light, and that's why I'm thinking it's Last Light, is I remember like the little shtick being you had to choose between whether you wanted to use the bullets in combat because they did more damage, or if you wanted to use them as currency. So I'm thinking that's Last Light because I have not had the option to use them unless it's like something you unlock later or as an option later in the game that I just haven't gotten to
Yeah.
yet. But it might just be a thing that they changed for the sequel in Last Light, because again, when you're developing a sequel, it's like, how can we change this? How do we change things up, make it different, make it feel like a new entry rather than just a copy and paste? So it's an interesting romp so far. Definitely digging the combat and the atmosphere. Story wise, not haven't really hit the stride of it too yet, but the being in a tunnel atmosphere, and like the one like set piece was you're on a mine cart. You're going down there from like the first base to the second one, and all of a sudden you get attacked by a bunch of mutant creatures.
Little
And so
Derek's.
it's like I didn't say it for a reason, Zach.
Oh, I
Um,
know you didn't. You were trying to avoid it, and I was like, no, 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 not in my house.
but they jump it all over the place, so you have to, like, it's like it turns into like a little set piece where you just have to pop shot them. What there is I did encounter an interesting thing, like again, it's not open world, like it doesn't really go open till the third game in Exodus, really.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if Last Light does it, but there is like a little like side tunnels that you can come across, and I found like smaller rodents, like smaller mutations, and like they hop through the pipes because that's in and out, like you like little, like, I guess you can say, for lack of a better word, they're just running around trying to get you, but their goal is to make you move because they're feasting on a dead body and it has ammo. But then I hear something as I'm walking across. I'm like, oh, that's weird. All of a sudden I fall through a pit trap, and then it's like a scene where the monster comes and it's basically an insta kill. So, and then I found like several, like in that area, like where you can look for supplies. There's like both dead ends of the tunnel have little traps. So it's something you have to be aware of your surroundings. I'm like, huh. If you go off the beaten path, I'm like, huh. Unique.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. I know you've talked a little bit about Metro and everything, and it's something that I've wanted to play. It's
Mm-hmm.
way down on my list, but I'm glad
Yeah.
that you're enjoying it. I looked up that there's like 7 chapters in the first one, so you're
Okay.
still pretty early in the game, but hopefully
Yeah.
the story will start storying, and
Yeah.
start getting you into it and everything. But I'm pretty excited for you because I know Bo, he really enjoyed the VR Metro that came out and
Oh, yeah.
everything.
I forget there was a VR title because I know there's, of course, 2033, Exodus, and Last Light, and they now Last Light, then Exodus, and now they just confirmed about a month ago that 2039 is going to be the latest entry. And like from
Hmm.
like I know it's just a CG trailer that they showed, but that just looks intense because like with all the chains and all this stuff, so really looks
Yeah.
intense.
Well, I'm glad that you actually played something. You actually got got something that wasn't anime. I'm proud of you, Derek. Very
I
proud of
know.
you. Um,
I've been watching anime too, but I couldn't face you another week without playing a game.
I was literally like going through the stories, and I was like, I wonder if Derek actually played anything this week, because if he didn't, I'm gonna ride him high and make fun of him so much. So I still made fun of you, but you know,
I
at
mean,
least
I
you
was gonna
played some.
say you do that without like you just wake up and choose violence. Like that's just
Oh,
you.
of course, that's the way it's got to be. It's the way it's got to be. Few comments before I talk about what I played. Amy says, I got my most anticipated book release today in the mail, and now I am complete. She got Tapestry of Fate from Shannon Shockerbordy, so excited about that. Nate says, I got caught up on season 2 of Freerun today and JJK yesterday. Let's go.
That's what's up.
Let's go. Not the Naked Mole Rat, of course. That's Derek through and through. That's Derek through and through. So for me, what I've been playing, I played some, of course, V Rising over the weekend. I finished Act 2, which I'm like level 60 something now, which is like, it takes a lot to get up there because you have to do a lot of crafting. You got to like get the right resources and et cetera, et cetera. So, dude, the Portal. I cannot speak highly enough about the PlayStation Portal. Everybody, if you are a fan of PlayStation, okay, and if you are a fan of not being tied to like having to play everything on a screen, like a big screen or anything like that, or you want some mobility, PlayStation Portal. It's gorgeous. You do have to have good internet. I will say that. You do have to have good internet. But man, it's so good. And I've just absolutely been loving it and been listening to Dungeon Crawler Carl while I play and everything, because I'm just like, I'm getting, you know, iron ore, and I'm go hunting people, and I'm killing their dogs and their pigs and their cows, so I can get thick hide, so I can make better armor and everything. It's like, you kill their dogs? Yeah, because they try to kill me. Nothing escapes alive. I even Derek, I even saw there was a deer that had really good blood. Like you can tell, like it has like percentages on any kind of living being or whatever.
Yeah.
And it had like 95%. And I'm like, bet. So I'm like, like I dominate its mind, and then like I call my bats, and then take the deer back, and it's like in a cell now, and I can just drink its blood anytime I want. Yeah, that's what I'm about. And then Tuesday, I was going to play some Expedition 33. I still haven't had time to figure out what was going on, but I was having an issue with my PlayStation, like I think it was the capture card or something. Like nothing was coming through, and I was like, okay. So I tried 2 games. Well, I tried one game that I was supposed to play on the channel a while ago, called Pirate Patrol. Man, this game, Derek, I feel like it has a lot of cool concepts and interesting ideas, but it's like the people are too flippin' nerdy for their own good. And instead of like giving you an interactive tutorial, it's just like, here's a bunch of text. Read for 3 hours before you ever get to play the game. So
the culling game rules.
Yes, it felt like that. And like at first I was like, okay, I'm gonna just read everything so I understand, and then it just kept going. I was like, and everybody knows me. Dan always calls me out because I never read anything. I was trying my hardest. I was like, okay, I gotta blaze through this. I didn't understand what was going on, how to play the game or anything. That's on me. But also, when your tutorial is so boring and doesn't explain, like, give me a hands-on tutorial, you know what I mean? And then when it was like, oh, let me ask some questions about your character, and dude, like the font size was so small, it was really hard to read. I'm over here hating on this indie game, and it hurts me to hate on an indie game. Okay, it hurts me. But you know, I'll call a spade a spade. there's a lot of good things there potentially. I played probably an hour or something like that on the game. No, it's not there. They definitely need to do some retooling and everything. But then I jumped into Cats and Cups. This is a game that I got a while back, and I played on the Steam Deck for a while during like Christmas break and everything. And coming back to it, I was like, okay, cool. I was like just playing some stuff on stream, just filling in the time and trying to enjoy myself. And I could tell that they had did a lot of updates, like simple little things that I was like, I don't really like this or whatever. This game is a ton of fun. Like, I don't even know how much it is. It's probably like a $10 or less game on Steam. It's a ton of fun. You're making lattes, you're making coffee, you're making croissants, all of this kind of stuff. And you got cats, like you're a cat and you're serving cats.
I was gonna say, so it's a cat cafe, but you're actually a cat making the coffee.
Exactly, for other cats. We don't serve dogs. And then the dogs, like they come in and try to extort you. Like I had a dog like thieving me. He was stealing money from me.
Shaking you down?
Shaking me down. Well, I had one that was stealing, and then I had another one that was like, hey, you can either give me $28 right now, or I'm gonna break all of your stuff. And I was just like, okay, if I don't give him the $28, it's going to take me way longer to get this fixed, and I'm going to lose more money in the long run. So I was like, whatever. But you have to call the cops for the people that are stealing, for the dogs that are stealing money and all of this. Yeah. And it's just a cute game, and you can get like better gear. Like you can get a better espresso grinder, and then like a espresso machine and an ice maker and all these little things. And it like getting to play it again, like everybody watching it was like, oh, this is actually kind of fun. And just like, you're like figuring out how can I make like get more customers in, and like you have like a little bell that you like ring, and like more cats come to the counter and everything. So it's a fun little game. I enjoyed it a lot, and hopefully I can get back into Expedition 33. But Derek, as I watch more Crimson Desert stuff, I'm just like, man,
I know.
It's like, man, I
don't know. The Crimson Desert hype is kind of waned for me, but because I was scrolling through looking for other stuff that I wanted to play, and I'm just like, I'm gonna try and play it between now and next week. But I downloaded the first Dying Light just because I want to play through that series as well.
Okay.
But I'm just looking at all these series. I'm just like, I've got time, because the next game I'm actively looking to play day one is Wolverine, and because I forget Lego Batman's coming out next week, but I'm just like, I can wait on it a little bit,
Yeah, it's not one that I'm like, I got to get day one. I need to see some like Luke Stevens. I watch a lot of his stuff. Mug Thief, I've started watching more of his stuff as well. They're YouTubers, and I feel like they're like, of course, I love Kind of Funny. I'm trying to find less people that are like games journalists and just like gamers that are like just connected playing. And it's like, okay, I feel like they're not that they're biased, okay, I'm not trying to say that or anything,
right,
but it's like, okay, they've got connections. Like Luke Stevens literally has like people that he can reach out to, like at Crimson Desert, and like, hey, this, like someone literally messaged. I thought this was super cool. Like he's having a stream, is like, hey, my save on PlayStation is like messed up. He's like, tell me what's going on and I'll reach out to my contact. And I was just like, okay, just flexing over here, flexing on me. All right, cool.
Casual flex.
Yeah, casual flex. So it's just like, I want to know, because like the PC requirements for Lego Batman is absolutely insane.
Really? For a Lego game?
For a Lego game, and they're using like frame sampling and all of that to like get it to where it should be, instead of like optimizing it where it should be before you even do any frame sampling. So like it's like, oh, you need a 4070 to play this like at like an actual good looking position, and I'm like, that's a big ass to have like a 4070 and everything. So And again, that's why you should play on console. Whatever. Neither here nor there. But I'm excited for a lot of games that are about to come out. But we've got a lot of news to talk about tonight. So we want stay strapped or get clapped. Yeah, and I got to get back into Alan Wake too. I need to play some more of that, and Death Stranding
I
too.
forgot you started that.
Yeah, I'm a pretty good ways into Alan Wake too, and I'm a good ways into Death Stranding. I just need to.
I was gonna say you need to get back to building bridges.
You know, we got to build all those bridges, guys. We want your discussion as we go through the show, and it is time for the gaming discussion this week. First up, Amy Henning scrapped Uncharted 4 story has been revealed, and this by Cade Onder at IGN.
So, a new video has revealed a ton of exciting new information on the original scrapped version of Uncharted 4 by Amy Henning. For those that don't know the history, Amy Hennig was the writer and creative director for the first 3 Uncharted games. She was working on a 4th game for the PS4, but abruptly left the project in early 2014 and was replaced by Bruce Straley and Neil Druckmann. Rumors regarding her departure have circulated for years, but former Naughty Dog employee Gabriel Betancourt recently suggested to YouTube Kiwi Talks that Hennig's version of the game wasn't meeting internal standards. Sony reportedly threatened to pull funding from the game if things weren't turned around, and that's when Druckmann and Straley took over. In 2021, Nathan Drake actor Nolan North stated that 8 months of work on Uncharted 4 were thrown out after the change. For years, fans have wondered what Uncharted 4 would have looked like had Hennig stayed on board. A new video from YouTuber The Kempy reveals a lot of information on the project, including changes to the story, cut content, and more. The general premise of the story is similar to the final product, with Nathan and his friends searching for Henry Avery's lost treasure while dealing with the return of his long-lost brother. Rafe remained the antagonist, though he wouldn't have been played by Alan Tudyk. However, things get very different in terms of how that story would have actually unfolded. For instance, Charlie Cutter would have returned. Sam would have been more of an antagonist than in the original game, and players would have played as Sully as well as the legendary pirate, Henry Avery. Perhaps the biggest change, however, was that Hennig and her team were exploring a radical overhaul to Uncharted's gameplay. Uncharted 1 through 3 were criticized by some for allowing Nathan Drake to gleefully murder a bunch of people without any regard for their lives. The level of violence felt disconnected from the story and characters, so Hennig came up with an idea. The team was looking to have a more melee-focused approach to combat, de-emphasizing the gunplay. This is notable because Uncharted 4's gunplay is arguably the best in the series, thanks to the ability to fluidly run and gun, as well as shoot weapons while swinging from the grappling hook. On release, Uncharted 4 sold over almost 3 million copies in its first week and went on to win critical acclaim and awards. It's still interesting to hear what the game may have looked like and compare and contrast. There's no way to really know which version would have been better because ideas can be great on paper but not be executed well. Either way, you should absolutely check out the Kempy's video as it is a fascinating deep dive into one of gaming's greatest what-if stories. So, obviously, we've always wondered, like, what was the original plan? Like, why was it scrapped? Of course, it's pretty much as we figured. There was butting heads, and once your benefactor threatens to pull the funding, you kind of just have to take. It's either you change it and adhere to their will, or you just leave. And she chose the latter. Obviously, it's been a rough road for Amy Hennig post leaving Sony, but Neil and Bruce came in and did their thing, and Uncharted 4 was like it said, like the article stated, a critically acclaimed game. But it is interesting that like more so the story changes, is like you would have played as Sully and played as the pirate whose treasure you're after, Henry Avery. That would have been different. Like I know. It's been so long since I played the first 3 Uncharted games, but I know 4 you got to play as like a young Nathan Drake and of course like his younger brother, or like go back in time and play like the young versions of them, like going through like what critical moments in their history. But playing as different characters altogether, I think would have been an interesting concept. However, and I get it, like if we get down to the nitty gritty, I get the gunplay complaints, but at the end of the day, every shooting game, you're just mindlessly going through and killing people, like gleefully murdering, as the article so well states it. I get, I if we're nitpicking here, like Nathan Drake's personality, I get like the gameplay you're portraying isn't matching up with Nathan Drake's personality per se, but again, it's a very like, I don't want to say a straw man argument, but it's very like every shooting game you're gleefully murdering people. That's the whole thing of gameplay. It's like Indiana Jones, but with just a little bit more shooting. So I tend not to, and maybe that was the whole disagreement, was like, look, the gunplay, and I know like Bruce and Neil like fixed it, and it was like the most fluid it had ever, like, gunplay that had been in all the series. But if that's what, like, creatively they butted heads over initially, and that's what caused Amy to leave, I kind of had to side with Sony, because it's like, why are you going to change just because the fans are tired of gleefully murdering? Like, I don't know. I just don't get that argument, in my opinion. Zach, I know you have opinions.
Yeah, like especially Uncharted 1, like it was in that period where you had monster closets. Like I
Right.
think of um Call of Duty World at War was awful about monster closets as well.
Yeah.
And that, of course, that was after Uncharted 1 and everything. But when you think about it, it's like that's just been kind of the way things were done for a very long time. And then it's like, okay, there's going to be X amount of people in this wave and everything. Yes, we shouldn't have just like, okay, we're just going to kill. And then we have like a totally different, like, I think the most stark contrast is the Tomb Raider games where, Crystal Dynamics, like after the first time she killed somebody, like she had this extreme emotional reaction, which makes total sense. And I agree with, I thought it was really powerful. And then she goes on for the rest of the game, no emotion, just like killing everybody that moves. And there was like, it was like, I also I can understand like mentally it's like you just shut down and you just don't think about it and everything. But to have that like visceral reaction in that, this though, I feel like it's like, okay, you're wanting these games which have these fantastical elements to it, always, Shangri-La, you've got all of these different things, and it's like these aren't grounded in reality by any means. And it's like, okay, the fourth one, we're going to shift hugely and try to make it super grounded and everything. And it's like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. And it would have been at the point where if Sony was saying this, Shuhei Yoshida, full of grace, would have been the person that is looking at this game and saying, hey, this isn't good. Like, Shuhei calls it like he sees it, and he said that to Cory Barlog with God of War, and it's like, hey, this isn't good, you need to do whatever you need to fix this. And it could be story, it could be gameplay, and it's like, if you are going so far from, okay, this is a shooter game, it's very Indiana Jones, it's this, that, and the other, Tomb Raider, to, okay, now we're just beating people with our fist. And it's like, okay, you're doing this to get around the gleeful killing or whatever. It's like, but you have 3 games and the Vita game where you've done that. It's like, you just can't, on the last game in the series,
just switch it up and be like, see, we're not bad.
Yeah, it would have been very jolting. And it's like, yeah, you would have had some people that would have been like, oh, this is the best thing ever. But it's like, it's not Uncharted then. It's something else at that point. So, okay, yeah, she gets called out. And maybe it was at this point where there was an impasse and everything. And that sucks. But I do feel like Uncharted 4 is a really good game. I feel like the story that they gave us was very intriguing, and I don't remember all the stuff, especially with like the pirate and all of that. Like, it would have been cool as like a DLC to play as that character, but like, I don't want to play as anybody but Nathan Drake in Uncharted.
Devil's advocate, Sully would have, I think, like, it may be a younger Sully, maybe not older, but I think Sully deserved. I think after 3 previous games, like in the fourth one, you give Sully a little bit of limelight there for for like maybe a level or two, but um
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, the other pirate, while it would have been an intriguing idea, I agree with you whole at the end of the day, it's like, give me just Nathan Drake,
Yeah. Like, and it would be cool. Let's, instead of young, Nathan, do
Hmm.
young Sully. Like, that would have been an
Yeah,
interesting take
yeah.
on it. But those levels were really vital for him and Sam's relationship and everything. But
Hmm.
let me just, the thing that I wanted, we were talking before the stream about this, and
Hmm.
like Amy Henning, and you even hit this kind of a little bit, like she's had two projects back to back where, and like it didn't get canceled Uncharted 4, but her version of it did. And
Correct.
then Project Ragtag, which when she was at Visceral Games, got canceled completely.
Hmm.
And it's like, okay, is it she's trying to tell stories that are older and that aren't necessarily like don't really vibe in this day and age
Yeah.
of gaming? Or is it other reasons? You know what I mean? Like it's just funding and all of that because EA, like they were really struggling with like the Star Wars brand at that time, and
Correct.
I think that is a big part of it as well. And they weren't willing to try to get that thing out there, which I think would have
Right.
been really cool. But then we have Marvel 1943.
1943 Rise of Hydra. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll see
and
how that goes. That's going to be. I mean, obviously, that is pretty much almost at the ready to go stage. Like I know it's saying like they give in like a broad release window, so to speak. I think it's gotten delayed till beginning of next year. I forget if it's gotten like a release year or whatnot, but I know.
so it was going to be early 2026, but then it got pushed back. So there's no new release window at the moment.
Okay, so yeah, so it'll probably be 2027 at this point because I feel like they were aiming for a fall release. Then GTA pushed their release
Yeah.
date back to November, so they're just like, let's just kick it to early 20. Let's just say nothing and just release early next year. That way, it's given an ample amount of time, and we can polish it. And this will be a
Well,
litmus test because go ahead. Sorry.
you're also not competing with Wolverine, which we know
Mm-hmm.
Insomniac is at the moment the pinnacle of superhero games
Correct.
because Rocksteady has not not helped themselves and shot themselves in the foot, and so same thing with Arkham, not Arkham, but
Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights and everything. So it's like Insomniac is just literally taking it to the bank over there with
Yep.
the two Spider-Man and then Miles Morales, and now September we're getting Wolverine and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I want Amy Henning to nail it. I want to be like, okay, that is what writing is, because the first, like, I know a lot of people love the third
Mm-hmm.
Uncharted. The second one is by far the best story wise, in my opinion. So
That
it's like,
intro says it all.
yes, oh my god, the intro is so good. I want to be like, okay, like yes, I love Neil, but Amy Henning is the one that really put you know, like put Naughty Dog on the map, because before that we
Correct.
had Jack and Daxter, we had Crash Bandicoot, and then it was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, we're trying this new thing with Uncharted, and it was like the first time they were really trying. Like I know later Jack and Daxter got more dark and had more of a serious story
Yeah.
and everything, but it was like this is the thing that really got them to be more of a mainstream name.
Correct. So, and going back to your original point with Amy Hennig, it's like you kind of alluded to it. It's like, is she out of touch with what modern storytelling is? Well, we'll find out. Like, and it's ironic that she's doing older stuff and she's telling a World War story essentially with Marvel. With I know it's got Captain America, Black Panther, but what is it setting around? Like the World Wars era. So we'll find out. If the game does come to light, if it doesn't get canceled last minute, if she will succeed, if she still has it in the tank. If not, then she needs to just, like Bobby Bowden, just run right off into the sunset with grace before she is exiled and shunned. But yeah, so I'm interested to see how this plays out.
Yeah. I would love for her to just crush it, have an
Hmm.
amazing game, and really solidify herself as this goat that I think that she really is, because
Yeah.
I want to see, like, we've got, like, you know, you got your Neil Druckmans,
Drunk.
you got like your Cliffy B's, you got, you got Casey, what is his
Corey
name,
Barlog.
Corey Barlog.
Casey Hudson or Casey
Yeah,
Hutchinson.
Casey Hudson. You've got
Yeah.
all of these like male figures within the gaming industry, and it's like Amy Henning, Jade Raymond are like the only, like, and I might be wrong, y'all can tell me, but it's like these are two, heavy hitters that have not like really succeeded in like the last 5 to 10 years.
And Jay doesn't look to be on the upswing at all with Fair
Yeah.
Games. Just saying.
Yeah, and it's like, well, I think she left.
I think you're right, actually.
Yeah. So it's like I just want to see Amy Henning just crush it. And I would be so happy, and I would be smiling like a mule eating briars to see Amy Henning like just come in and just crush it once again, because I believe that she can do some amazing things. Now, Derek, moving from Uncharted, we got some GTA 6 news to talk about.
Speaking of GTA,
GTA 6 pre-order date has been leaked by Best Buy, and this is by Charlie Champion. That's a name right there. Charlie Champion at Insider Gaming.
So GTA 6 pre-orders are supposedly set to go live next week, starting May 18th, as a Best Buy email has leaked when you can place your pre-order. Plenty of people have been sent the email online, but Insider Gaming has since received the email, and we can independently verify that it's real. Sent out to affiliates, the email reveals the campaign is for none other than the highly anticipated Grand Theft Auto 6, with the pre-orders set to begin on May 18th, 5 months before the game's November 19th release date. If pre-orders were to go live, it could very well rule out fears of another delay. But let me add a caveat. And I know, like, this is the pessimist in me. Obviously, cool that it's a real thing, like, because I know people are like, it's probably gonna break, the website by going live, like, or go when the pre-orders go up, because it's gonna multiple crashes. People are gonna try and pre-order the. I don't know if they'll do the collector's limit ultimate editions right off the bat, but if they just do regular pre-orders, it's definitely going to crash websites for sure. People are going to be out the doors of Best Buy trying to secure their pre-order just to make sure they're locked in. But that last line, Zach, November 19th, to kind of paraphrase Asha Sharma, the plan is not the plan. The plan's the plan until it's not the plan. We have seen this, and I know it's a one-off, an outlier essentially, and it's a different studio. That it was a way different time, but I still remember Cyberpunk 2077. They got it. They confirmed. They delayed it about 1,000 times. Finally settled on a date in like September, October, whatever. And they said, "All right, we're going gold." And back in those days in the gaming industry, when you went gold, you were locked in. It was verified. You're ready to go. And then about a week or two after that, they said, "Oh, we're going to delay it till December." And it's like that doesn't now. Now the term "going gold" means nothing. So yes, pre-orders going live means it is actually a thing. Like it's actually within. Like you can see the light at the end of the tunnel for the game release. However, they still could, if they wanted to, delay the game again. Like just because the pre-orders go live doesn't mean a thing.
Yeah, it doesn't really. I think this is. I feel like pre-orders, like in the general sense, is kind of a old school way of doing things.
It was crowdfunding before crowdfunding was a thing. Let's just be fair.
Yeah, and we talked last week. They put in like 1.5 billion with the B dollars into the development of this. So like getting some sort of recoup would be nice, but like for me, we are in a day and age where online, like digital, is going to be the thing. So I think people pre-ordering on PlayStation 5 and Xbox are going to be more of the thing than necessarily like your box stores and all of that. Right. Not saying that we won't see that happening, especially, I don't know, in if did they do any kind of, well, you would have, well, no, you wouldn't have been in the store when they put GTA 5 out. This 2013.
Wait,
I'm
no,
trying to,
I was working at GameStop by then.
were you?
Yeah, I started in summer of 2012.
Okay. So did they do any kind of like special editions or anything, or was it just the
Oh,
base
they
game?
did. It was like the
Okay.
loot bag edition because you got like a heist bag with it.
Oh, okay, okay. That's okay.
I forget the. Don't ask me the price. That was way long ago, but I
Yeah,
do remember
yeah.
that because one of my buddy Matt got it. That's the only way. That's the only
Mm,
reason I remember that.
okay. Yeah. So I was looking out. They've officially only had 2 delays because they
Hmm.
didn't put a date on it for a very long time.
True,
So May 2nd was originally, because can you think of the timeline if we would have already had GTA right now?
brother. Like that, it would
You know what I
like
mean?
we nothing else would matter. Our headlines would be dominated by GTA 6.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, okay, we had May 2nd, and then it got pushed back, and then it apparently went to like May 26th, was when, okay, let me just read this. On May 2nd, 2025, Rockstar confirmed the fall 2025 window was being, okay, that's what it was being pushed
Hmm.
back to May 26, 2026, citing the need for
Okay.
additional polish. On November 6, 2025, Rockstar announced a second slip, moving the date again to November 19th, which is the current date. The announcement coincided with the Take-Two quarterly earnings call. And I think for right now, Take-Two, like, they're not hurting, but they definitely want to get this out the door. They want,
Yeah, they definitely need a new influx of cash because I mean, while GTA Online and just GTA 5 in general are still printing money, they need a shot in the arm to really like
yeah,
increase the cash flow. And you were talking about pre-orders are kind of like archaic and whatnot in this day and age, but let's be fair, like what other game other than a mega game like GTA would announce that pre-orders are going live? Like you could like Madden could announce like the next one is announcing pre-orders and everyone's like, all right, it comes out every year. Cool. It's always in
yeah,
August. Cool. Whatever. We'll get it or we won't. Like but when you announce, oh, GTA 6 is pre-orders are going up, people are going to be there locked in. You know what I mean? And not to say that they didn't do it for Red Dead, but it's like when you put Rockstar on there and you announce a game, like that's the only game that carries that much like cachet or that logo that carries that much cachet that they can just announce like, oh, we're gonna do screenshots and people lose their absolute mind.
yeah, yeah. I think because they've managed their brand so well and that they haven't put out a bad game. And I feel
Correct.
like CD Projekt Red was like that before Cyberpunk
Cyberpunk.
2077. But they
Yep.
have, garnered a lot more goodwill, thankfully, now and
Right.
everything. But yeah, I think this is an interesting little, oh, we're, having pre-orders and everything. And I'm like, okay, cool.
We're at the
Like,
next tentpole event.
yeah, which I know a lot of people are like, are we getting another trailer with this
I
as
know
well?
someone apparently used like the star alignments and like went through the years of like trailer releases to line up when the supposedly the next trailer for GTA 6 would drop. And I'm like, dude, for one thing, kudos to you for doing that much research, but you could have done so much more with your time. Like, just saying.
I'm sure we could chat GBT a lot of a lot of
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
but yeah, like I'm ready for this. Let's get a date out there. It doesn't really matter to me. We know
Yeah,
the release date as long as it doesn't, like, you can buy the game the day before, the day of, whatever,
yeah. Because it was
pre-order and
via
everything.
digital anyway.
Yeah, and I was going to say you could wish list it on Steam, but you can't
Ha
because
ha ha!
it's coming to consoles.
Go do your taxes.
Yeah, update your drivers. Update your drivers. Now we got a little bit more Rockstar news to talk about because this is a story that we've been covering since it started, and the
Right.
drama continues because Rockstar drama with the UK workers continues, and this is by Tom Phillips at IGN.
So, UK politicians have strongly criticized GTA 6 developer Rockstar for its firing of 34 workers last October, as legal wrangling continues over the staff dismissals. Rockstar has publicly stated that it fired the employees for gross misconduct and claimed they had broken confidentiality rules by sharing private information via Discord. The IWGB Game Workers Union, however, has framed the incident as an example of alleged union busting, insisting the private Discord server involved was designed to host discussions on union efforts, and all the fired UK workers were members of its organization. Earlier this year, an employment tribunal was held to determine whether the workers qualified for temporary financial relief, though the decision was made that they did not. Still, Rockstar faces a final decision regarding the allegation of union busting, and in the meantime, the IWGB has garnered support from a series of local MPs. Quote, from my first meeting with constituents impacted by Rockstar's mass dismissal, I have held concerns with both the handling and motivation behind the action, said Chris Murray, MP for Edinburgh East and Musselburgh. I made my concerns clear during Prime Minister's questions, resulting in an ongoing ministerial investigation initiated by the Prime Minister. Constituents have lost their jobs, their income, and one constituent even forced to leave the country due to the removal of their visa sponsor. During a recent meeting with a constituent, they explained Rockstar's justification for the dismissal has varied throughout this process. Rockstar must answer the case with transparency and full cooperation and uphold the right to appeal. UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer was asked about the firings last December and responded to say that the matter was, quote, a deeply concerning case, which would be investigated further. Tracy Gilbert, MP for Edinburgh North and Leith, meanwhile, stated that it was, quote, extremely disappointing that Rockstar has refused to properly engage with staff, representatives, and trade unions throughout this process. Workers asking for fairness, transparency, and respect should not be met with silence and closed doors, especially when livelihoods and workplace rights are at stake. When I visited Rockstar late last year alongside fellow MPs, my discussions with senior management emphasized their responsibility to treat staff in an open, fair, and transparent manner. Said a third politician, Dr. Scott Arthur, MP for Edinburgh Southwest. It appears that these principles were not being consistently upheld in practice. The UK government is overseeing the largest expansion of workers' rights in a generation, and as members of Parliament we have a duty to challenge unfair employment practices and unjust dismissals. Rockstar must therefore cooperate fully and transparently with any investigations into alleged union busting and ensure that both dismissed and current employees are treated fairly and with respect. Now, obviously, it's we've talked about it before. Horrible decision, and especially the whole back and forth about they said type of thing. It's like, oh well, it was actually they were leaking secrets. It's like, well, no, we were actually discussing union rights and like all the workers, and it was just like the article said, coincidentally that all 34 workers that were let go were part of the union, and now like they're coming for and what?
It's just like that wasn't the reason why.
Right.
No.
Oh yeah, it's like, oh, that had nothing to do with it. It's like, okay, all right. And dog and the sky is black. Let's just the fact that they're refusing to engage and all this just kind of like you can look at it one of two ways. You can look at it as like, oh, Rockstar has egg on their face and they just don't want to openly take accountability for it. And they're just kind of like, well, if we don't engage, we don't have to admit that we're wrong and do payouts and all this other stuff and rehire some of the workers potentially. On the other hand, which I think is what they're doing, is they're just throwing their weight around because they're Rockstar. They smell themselves now. They're smelling themselves a little too much now, rightfully so. They're like we just talked about in the previous story. Their branding is top notch. Like people know them. Like again, you could just slap the Rockstar logo and a title of the next game they're working on. People will lose their absolute mind and start speculating for months and months and all this stuff. I mean, when you have someone looking at star charts over all their releases to figure out when the next trailer is going to drop, you have dedicated rabid fans.
Oh yeah.
So, but I think they're smelling themselves and they're being egotistical and they're like, well, we don't have to engage. We stand by what we did. We don't have to. we did what we did. We made a statement. We did, we did the bare minimum, and now we don't have to do anything else. We don't have to justify ourselves to you peons, is what they're essentially saying. And again, you can look at it either or, but I think it's the one the latter one on this part.
Yeah, for me, it's like, okay, corporations are not above the law, and I think a lot of corporations have thought that. And I know we have Koshi comes on, and he watches a lot of the Expedition 33 stuff, and he'll come on even this stream, and he lives over in the EU and everything, and they are very stringent on workers' rights. Like, they've definitely like gone way above what we've got in the US. Like, in the US, like the corporations literally can make you pee in a bottle because you can't have any breaks or anything, and they'll kill your granny and drain her body of all of her fluids, and hang her corpse and all of the I'm going on and on like
but it's true though.
Yeah, U.S. corporations, if they've got any money, then they've definitely got power and all of that. I'm glad I'm not about like big government and oversight and all of that, but somebody's got to hold people. Yeah, it's like, okay, like I love when an elected official is like, hey, I'm going to actually do my job. And it's like, what? You're going to protect your yeah, it's like you're going to protect your constituents. It's like that would never happen in the U.S. That would never happen in the U.S.
Not unless you slip money under the table.
Yeah, exactly. If you were a big donor, they might do something for you.
Yeah.
So if I want this to like wrap up, and I think the people at Rockstars is like, we've handed it off to the lawyers, let them deal with them, and we've got a game to ship, and that's all that they're thinking about. They're not thinking about anything else. They don't care about this.
6 months away from launch. Like, we have bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, it's like this was 34 people. We employ over 1,000. Like whatever. It's like, yeah, we busted the union, but we're not gonna say it. Yeah, they were putting out secrets, but we hate unions. You know what I mean? And it's like, so I'm glad that at least in some place in the world that a politician is actually doing something for their constituents. Because man, oh man, that is not the norm. Let me just say, like anywhere in the world, that is not the norm.
Sadly.
Yeah, sadly. But hopefully we'll get a better report on this in the near future.
Probably not, let's be fair. Let's just be 100% honest, but one can hope.
Yeah, hope springs eternal. Hope springs eternal. You know what I'm hoping for right now is you to hit that like button like you like it. Like it's the best thing since sliced bread. Like you are just like, man, they're killing it tonight. They're crushing it. You should do it. You should do it right now. And you might get an achievement. I don't know. You might get an achievement for being the coolest cat to ever cat. Just saying. Well, we got some more news for you, and it's not necessarily good news because we've been thinking about it, and it's been pontificated for a while, and we expected it to happen. But Nintendo confirms that the Switch 2 is getting a price increase.
And this is by Wesley Yimpool at IGN. Nintendo has announced price rises for Switch 2 consoles across the globe, blaming, quote, changes in market conditions. Given that the impact of various changes in market conditions is expected to extend over the medium to long term, price revisions are also planned outside Japan, Nintendo said. In the US, Switch 2 is going up by $50 from $450 to $500. In Canada, the Switch 2 rises from $630 to $680. And then in Europe, the Switch 2 goes up from £470 to £500. The price rise kicks in on September 1st of this year, and Nintendo warned price rises for the Switch 2 and the original Switch are coming in other regions. Quote, we sincerely apologize for the impact these price revisions may have on our customers and other stakeholders, and we deeply appreciate your understanding, Nintendo said. The Switch 2 price rise follows similar announcements from both Microsoft and Sony amid a challenging economy and a global electronics component shortage fueled by the AI boom. The war in Iran has also sparked a jump in logistics costs, putting pressure on margins. In its outlook for the current financial year, ending in March 31st of next year, Nintendo said Switch 2 got off to a good start following its June 2025 launch, and it's now sold almost 20 million consoles. However, it admitted Switch 2 sales were, quote, more concentrated in the launch year in comparison to previous hardware systems. Nintendo expects to sell fewer Switch 2 units in the current financial year, predicting 16.5 million or a 16.9% year-on-year decline. It said this decline reflects strong launch year sales and price revisions, acknowledging the impact of the Switch 2 price rise. Even so, we believe this represents a solid level of adoption for Switch 2 in its second year after launch. Nintendo insisted it also expects software sales will rise from 48.71 million units to 60 million units. As it stands, the Switch 2 hardware sell-through was higher than posted by the Nintendo Switch in its first full fiscal year, and annual playing users exceeded 100 million, continuing the trend from last fiscal year. So again, Zach, and we talked about one of the quick hits said, "Oh, they're under pressure to raise prices because they were taking a loss on it." And again, you always take a loss on hardware. I mean, I know eventually you want to see get in the black, but we always see in the first couple of years you take a loss because of how expensive everything is to make the console, but then you make up that loss with with software sales. Um, and again, this happened, and I told you in the text when I sent you the article, I'm like, the Friday strikes again, because literally right at the next day after the show, this gets announced, and it's like, well, but again, like you alluded to before the article, not surprising. We expected this to happen. Um, it's not that I know $50 is a lot, but it's compared to how expensive a PS5 and a Series X is at this point, it is going to $500 is not all that terrible right now. Now again, this is May, and it's not going to kick until September. But that's not to say beginning of next year that they could increase the price again. But I like how they're also giving you like a 4-month grace period, and it's like, hey, or roughly a 4-month grace period. It's like, hey, we're raising the price, but it's not going to be immediate. It's going to start September 1st, and it gives you. And I know they have like a build your own bundle set where you get to pick one of 3 games that are out now for the Switch 2, like Donkey Kong Bonanza, Mario Kart World, and Pokemon Pokopia. You get to pick a bundle, so they know they're trying to make as much money as they can between now and September 1st, because once the price increase, not as many people are going to buy it, so they need to entice fans to buy a Switch 2 right now.
Yeah, yeah. Like, for me, this is a really interesting play to make it that long of a ramp, essentially, runway on this, because it's like, all right, it's going to increase, but it's going to be in September. So if you want to save $50, you should do it now. And that's great marketing. That's like, it's like, okay, if you've been on the fence, which I've been over here thinking, it's like, okay, I might buy the Switch 2 before September just so I can save $50, which in the grand scheme of things, it's like $50 is, that's a bill that could be paid or whatever. But well, I don't know what bill could be paid with $50, but some bill could be part
Depending
of it.
On where you live.
Yeah. But this to me is like, okay, we need people to buy the console. And if this is a way to get people to buy it in this fiscal year before we increase the price, then let's give them a little bit of a runway to see that happen. And then, get them in there. Because like I was like, I might get it sometime this year, but when it was like, oh, they're doing a price increase, I was like, okay, I think I'm on bite the bullet and get it this year before the increase and everything. But I also think it's like, as long as you're putting out, like, I don't know how many people, and Amy has been she's been jonesing for Pokopia as well, because it's like the new Animal Crossing, if you will. But so many people got a Switch 2 because of that game. And it's like, when you have games, and I know Tamagotchi life, living the dream.
Living the dream.
It's another one of those where people are getting it. And it's like, if you continue to make software that people are interested in, and Derek, once that, I can't remember the name of it, but that From Software game comes to the Switch 2, the Souls people are going to be going and getting a Switch 2 to be able to play that. And that's just how it works. It's like software sells consoles, not just a console. It's like that's the whole reason why the Wii U only sold 13 million units, because they didn't have the software from first party or third party developers. It was at the end of the life cycle when you finally saw, with Breath of the Wild and Splatoon and like all of these games that eventually came to other, the Switch and everything. That's, there was a reason why people didn't buy that thing. And it was a piece of trash, but it's like, if you want to keep that trajectory, that momentum going with the Switch 2, you got to keep putting bangers out. And clearly they are doing that. But I think this is one, they've got to make more money because everything is getting more expensive. We got to, like, I was driving the other day and it was like, my God, gas is over $4.
Yep.
And I was just like,
that sticker shock the other day. I was like, I went to go fill up and I was like, $4.15. I'm like, here we are. We've come full circles.
I was like, what the crap is this? Because I go into office like 1 or 2 times a week, most of the time, 1 time. And I'm like driving by this gas station that is usually the cheapest in town. And I was like, what the crap is this? I was like, why is gas? And, of course we got to, we're not getting political here. But everything is getting more expensive, and that's just the way things are, unfortunately. And it's like, the reason why we're not seeing more sales is because everything's more expensive. It takes so much more to live right now. Groceries, gas, just rent. Like, everybody wants theirs. And it's like, you're squeezing people so much. And it's like, I literally, somebody commented on one of the videos we put out, and I was like, gaming is literally a luxury now. Like, gaming is not like a normal entertainment thing. Like, it's a luxury. When all of these, consoles have gotten over $700, it's a luxury. Like, you're getting to a used car, the cost of a used car. Like, we keep going the way we're going right now. It's like you can get a clunker on Facebook that can get you point A to B, or you can buy a steam machine or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's just like that's where we're at in this moment. So if you're getting a Switch 2, get it before September.
And that's where I was going with. Yeah, and that's what I was going to say too, man, is like, that's my one big gripe with it being September 2, is because now it changes a lot of families' like budget idea, because usually you're a lot of kids are getting out for school, so you start planning for your summer trips or like your summer fun days, like activities that you want to take the kids to and all that kind of stuff. So you budget for that. And then it's like, when fall comes around, it's like, all right, now you start budgeting for Christmas gifts, like all this kind of stuff. And usually the best time to buy a console, and like, because they have deals that I know Nate alluded to, it's like they'll do it's kind of like a Target idea. Like what Target does is like, we're going to raise the price, but then drop it back down to what it originally was, and just say it's a sale. And
I don't feel like they do that though. Like, they won't bring it down. I'm talking about Nintendo. They won't bring down the price, but they'll bundle it. They'll put a bundle together.
Fair. So you're still saving something, and that I agree with. But so you're planning to budget, so it's like, okay, cool. Like, you plan for the holidays and you save, and usually you're relying on Black Friday to get some kind of deals. But now it's like, if you don't want to pay that extra $50, like despite them having a Mario Kart bundle for the 10th time for Black Friday, you have to start budgeting now, and you might have to sacrifice an activity that you want to take your kids to, or maybe not spend as much time on your summer trip as you want to, because you want to save money and buy Johnny or Susie the Nintendo Switch for an early Christmas gift.
Yeah, eat some potted meat.
Yeah. Spam.
Yeah, spam. There's I haven't read the article all the way through. I saw the headline and I thought it was an interesting idea, that Nintendo needs to start making more Switch 1 games again because of the install base.
Okay.
Because like
Fair point. Yeah.
if you think about it, it's like, okay, yeah, we've got a pretty nice install base of Switch 2s, but Switch 1, we've got 100 million plus consoles out there. And it's like, if you're wanting revenue, you need to be like, yeah, it would be nice to get someone to drop $450, but what if you had 60 million drop $60? You know?
Yeah. And again, it's always hard to argue against that. But again, my thing is, it's like when you have the better hardware and tech to scale back, because I mean, again, Pokemon Sword and Shield is like the litmus. Like then you'll get more games. Like yeah, make more Switch 1 games. Cool, yes, for that install base. However, if they're going to be of that same quality, people are not going to buy them. And again, it's just like the whole argument. Like I know I keep beating a dead horse, but we haven't talked about it in a while. Shadow of Mordor. When it first came out, it had that revolutionary Nemesis system when it came out to PS4 and Xbox One. But then they had to delay the PS3 and 360 because it wasn't working the same on older tech. So they had to scrap the best part of their game, and it was a hollow shell. And I mean, and they delayed it 2 months after the PS4 and Xbox One versions, and it pretty much did nothing. So again, it is hard to argue with the install base because there's more people that are willing to buy it. And you know, again, say instead of spending the $450, you're just spending $60, $70, $80, whatever the heck you are, and you're getting more money that way. However, if the game has to suffer in quality, people are not going to buy it that way either.
Yeah, I think this is one of those things that's like you've got to figure out a way to balance both ends of it. It might be like an Assassin's Creed Black Flag and Assassin's Creed Rogue kind of situation. Ooh, where you have split.
It was Unity and Rogue.
Are you sure? I thought it was Black Flag and Rogue.
Nope, Black Flag came out, and then the year after it was Unity and Rogue, because Unity was the one that was in Paris, and it was that buggy mess where you saw eyeballs but no face.
Yeah, I just remember there was a split where it was like the older console, I guess it had Rogue on there, and it's like, okay, maybe you could be doing something like that to get that install base, having something where, like, dude, I know if they put out some DLC, like I know the free update for Animal Crossing, everybody was excited about that. Put out some sort of DLC, like that's, you know, $15 or whatever, and people would eat it up. Like if you service the people that are there, you're going to make money. You've already got the people at the table. You just got to put the plate in front of them.
Very true.
Well, let's talk about a little something that we enjoyed bashing last week, and that is, of course,
half cash, half stock.
eBay apparently got the ick from GameStop and says no. And this is by Wesley Yinpool at IGN.
So eBay has officially rejected GameStop CEO Ryan Cohen's $56 billion with a B offer to buy the company. The eBay board of directors said it had rejected GameStop's unsolicited proposal following a, quote, thorough review. Cohen had said that if eBay's board rejected his offer, he would take it directly to shareholders, insisting, quote, there's nobody who is more qualified based on my experience to run the eBay business. In a response letter to Cohen, published in full below, eBay chairman Paul Pressler called the offer neither credible nor attractive, saying, quote, Dear Mr. Cohen, the board, with the support of its independent advisors, has thoroughly reviewed your proposal and has determined to reject it. We have concluded that your proposal is neither credible nor attractive. We have taken into account such factors as 1. eBay's standalone prospects. 2. The uncertainty regarding your financing proposal. 3. The impact of your proposal on eBay's long-term growth and profitability. 4. the leverage, operational risks, and leadership structure of a combined entity. 5. The resulting implications of these factors on valuation. And lastly, 6. GameStop's governance and executive incentives. eBay is a strong, resilient business that has delivered meaningful results over the past several years. We have sharpened our strategic focus, strengthened execution, enhanced our marketplace and seller experience, and consistently returned capital to shareholders. With its differentiated global marketplace and a clear strategy, eBay's board is confident that the company under the current management team is well positioned to continue to drive sustainable growth, execute with discipline, and deliver long-term value for our shareholders. Our team remains focused on executing our strategy and driving our business forward in the best interest of the company, our shareholders, our employees, and millions of buyers and sellers around the world. Sincerely, Paul S. Pressler, Chairman of the Board of Directors at eBay. Man, if there was ever time to just do a mic drop, this was the perfect one. And I mean, clearly, it had nothing to do with that absolute cinema masterpiece of an interview that we watched last week. Nothing. eBay checked the website. They did. Ryan Cohen said, check the website. eBay checked it and saw that it wasn't good. So good on that. And the whole, I was sitting there watching the headline, when I saw the headline come up the other day, I'm just neither credible nor attractive. I was oh, uppercuts to the face. And it's and again, Ryan Cohen, obviously, he said this before all this came out. And, you can go check it. We just covered the first 6 minutes, which I didn't show him our reaction, but I showed that interview, just that first 6 minutes that we covered as a clip to my brother and my mother. And without any context of just general business or whatever, they have a base knowledge, but just without a deep understanding, they watch this and it's how is he a billionaire? And I'm yeah, I I completely concur. Zach and I had the same reaction, but dude, it's just whether the interview was the deciding factor or not. The fact that Ryan Cohen openly came on there and said, "Oh yeah, we're just now starting negotiations," and then when they were talking about the bond or whatever that was worth $20 billion with a B, supposedly, but it could not, but it has a possibility to not withhold that value. It's oh, we'll see what happens. It's your business decisions and your strategy is crap. Utter crap. So no thanks, but no thanks. You can't even say they left him at the altar because there was not even a they were just at the proposing stage, and eBay's ew, not you. Can't hear you.
Ryan Cohen, when he proposes, he's just texts marriage question mark.
It's sort of when you're just in the talking, you're in the talking stage and you're already talking about being married and all this stuff, and it's bro, we just now started talking. We've only been talking for a week. Why are you already here? Severe, and then you get love bombed.
Yeah, we haven't even held hands yet, Ryan.
Right, we haven't even been on a first date, and you're talking about marriage. Hold up.
But I'm sure, and I made this joke when I talked about this on Tuesday, that it's not the first time that he hasn't been told that he's not credible nor attractive.
Facts.
And we said not credible, not attractive, not happening.
So, but kudos to eBay for not, because again, whenever, not to say that it was we'll never, I don't know if we'll ever see billions of dollars in our lifetime, you know what I mean? But in a business sense, when you see $1 billion thrown around, okay, you'll at least listen. But then again, this is why you do neck deep negotiations before you make this public. That way, if it falls through, you're not embarrassed, you're not left out off the stage or whatever. And Ryan Cohen, I think this will be a learning lesson. Now, don't be surprised if within the next couple months that GameStop stock has severely fallen and they have to close multiple like stores again, or the other thing is Ryan Cohen resigns as CEO of GameStop. Like I would not be surprised if either of those were to happen by the end of the year.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Like the whole
Half cash, half stock.
has been just like a funny thing. Joe says, "Where's the ring?" It's half ring, half pop.
Ring, half pop. Ah.
Like this is just like it's become a joke, and eBay doesn't want to be a joke, and I understand that totally. Plus, it's like, why would I, running a successful business that's, profit wise making 11 billion per year, like profit, not like with overhead and all of that, already taken out. And it's like, okay, if we're already making that and you are constantly having to close stores, you're constantly having to downsize, your business model is in shambles because, one vendor is potentially going out of business, talking about Funko Pop and everything. And it's like the whole like part of your name, GameStop, GameSlop is really good, Joe. But it's like you aren't really selling games. You're selling, pop figures. You're selling merchandise. Like you're not a game seller when it really comes down to it. And it's like that says a lot. Like you're not going to shepherd and you're not going to, really take care of our business if we did sell to you. Like you clearly are showing that in your actions.
Right. And again, like, yeah, you can just throw a dollar amount up there and say billions of dollars worth, and we want to buy you. And at first blush, it sounds attractive, right? But then you get into the nitty gritty. And again, even if the interview didn't happen, that abysmal interview, like, and that showcased how asinine Ryan Cohen is as like running a company. Again, if they were doing behind closed doors before they went public with this, like that's going to be attempt, they would look at that same business. It would still be the same business letter that we saw on the website, that eBay would look at, and they would say, yeah, this does not compute. This doesn't add up. Like even the news anchor was just like, you're still missing 16 billion. And it's like, what are you talking about? Half cash, half stock. I don't understand your question. But I'm sure, again, I think the interview, like eBay probably saw that, like they probably sent it to him and they looked at it and eBay was like, nah, dog, we're good. But then saw that interview and that was the nail in the coffin for him. It's like, this guy thinks he is the most qualified and has because of his experience to run this company. No, thank you.
Yeah. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
It's a no for me, dog.
No for me, dog. Yeah. Randy Jackson. Amy says he was like, hey, eBay, I'll give you a bid. Here's billions. Totally real. You can trust me. I'm not a con man. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. I'm not a con man.
It's going to be great.
If I were a con, would I be this bad at it? Would I be? Would it be this bad? No, it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful. Like it's so bad. I ran this over on Claude because I use Claude. Just looking at this, the market was skeptical from the start. GameStop stock sank 10% on the day of the announcement, while eBay shares climbed about 5% to around $109.
Wow.
Well below the $125 offer price, suggesting investors doubted the deal would close.
Correct.
So eBay rejects the offers. eBay's board rejects the offers, and GameStop's shares dropped roughly 5% during pre-market trading after the rejection. As of today, May 14th, GME is trading around $21.68 with a 52-week high of $35.81 and a 52-week low of $19.93. That puts it down significantly from the $26.50 from the pre-bid price.
you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Mhm.
So like, again, at at the most basic of terms, you know, kudos. I assume it feels nasty even saying this to Ryan Cohen for just throwing it out there and seeing if it would happen. At the same time, when you come with a half-baked plan or hardly a plan at all and just again hope for the best, essentially, as he said in the interview, yet this is the result that you get, and now you're going to be a laughing stock. And now this is why you alluded to it when we were reacting to the interview. This is why they close stores, because they have donkeys in the leadership position that are just making stupid decisions, and the employees are the ones that have to suffer with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's half cash,
So
half stock.
check
Like
the website
when I literally take the time to make
to make a soundbite.
yeah, to put on the board, that I think this person's an idiot. Okay,
Yeah.
because
Or it's great because I know you did the All Might one,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
plus Ultra.
But I'm just saying, like, I rarely take the time out to
Yeah.
put something on the board. I'll say, yeah, I should do that, and then I never do. But then
It's half cash, half stock.
it's just too good not to do it.
Exactly.
Joe says, I got it from a Nigerian prince, I promise.
I swear.
Amy says, what an idiot. He made it all worse. I didn't think it could be worse. Yeah.
Facts.
It does. It can be. Like I feel like when you get into that like kind of position, you have to have like an arrogance about you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But he's taken it to a whole nother degree. Like he's definitely
Right.
you know, never
it's
admit
only-
that
it's
you're
only-
wrong. Go ahead.
Right. It's only arrogant if you don't have a plan to back it up. And this is an instance where he didn't have a plan to back it up, or at least a legitimate, solid business plan.
Derek.
And now he's got egg on his face.
Derek.
It's half
Yeah.
cash, half stock.
Like, how is that not a plan? Like, seriously, do you not hear what he's saying?
It's half
I
cash,
did-
half stock.
Okay.
But is it
Like-
a good plan? That's the thing. Like,
Half
yeah, it's a
cash,
plan.
Half stock. It's half
But
cash,
again-
half stock.
The plan is a plan until it's not the plan.
Well, I don't blame eBay at all. I'm curious if Ryan Cohen will go to shareholders and everything to try.
Again, like if eBay, the president, like the head honcho of eBay is saying no thanks, what does he think that going to the board of directors is going to do?
Well, it's not the board of the directors. He's going to shareholders. And if he can,
excuse me.
if he can buy enough shares, like he would own the company. You know what I mean? Like he could do a Vivendi and essentially,
It's half cash, half stock.
like try to take over that way and everything. But I feel like
eBay would
No.
definitely influx their own money to buy it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? To outbid him.
well, and it's like he literally talked about like, oh, we're going to have to put more stocks out there. So you're literally going to dilute the value of GameStop stock and everything. And it's like, dude, your stock is worth as much as a pack of Big Red at that point. You know what I mean?
That's being generous.
Derek, do you remember when like Big Red was like a huge thing?
I used to chew Big Red a lot.
No, you would eat it. You would swallow it too. And you would be
No.
like, you'd be always constipated, like, why am I constipated? It's like you're just like you just raw dogging it and just eating it and just swallowing it.
Wow.
You know?
Jeez Louise. Oh boy.
I will say, do you know those like the like 5 foot rolls of like gum? You know what I'm talking about? Like it was
Yeah.
like it was like
The
Hubba
bubble
Bubba.
tape or whatever.
Yeah, the bubble tape. Dude, I remember as a kid, just one day, I ate all 5 feet I ate it, Derek. I ate it.
Mhm.
I swallowed all 5 feet of gum. And my mom was freaking out. She's like, "Oh my God, we got to take him to the hospital." My dad's like, "He'll poop it out."
Just give him a laxative.
Thankfully for me, back then I didn't have to worry about having to have a laxative because I had
Yeah.
IBS, everybody.
Oh.
I mean, getting constipated on Big Red, that was not on my bingo
On
card.
my bingo card.
Jack loves some bubble tape. Bubble tape is so good. Same with Big Chew. Do you ever have Big
Yeah.
Chew?
That one I never did.
What? Do you know what Big Chew is, Derek?
I mean, I know what Big Chew is.
Okay.
I don't think I ever got it as a kid. Like even when I went trick or treating, I never ended up with Big Chew.
I don't think it's like a thing you get at trick or treating though.
Well, I know, but like you would think that people would go candy shopping or like would shop for it and like give it out to kids or whatever.
I don't know. Big Chew is like that. It's such a big pouch. I don't know. Everybody, put a 5 in chat if you know what Big Chew is. Okay. I want to make sure y'all know. Oh my God! Look at this, Derek. I didn't even know they had buckets.
Holy cow! There's your 5-gallon bucket.
This is a dugout bucket of Big Chew gum. Oh, that's gumballs. I don't want gumballs. I want like the pouch. And the whole reason why this is even a thing is because of like back in the day with dip and all of that. The baseball players would do that dip and all of that. But yeah, like I remember like we're over here. Isn't Big Chew like shredded gum? Yes, it is. This is the Candy Funhouse, y'all. This is Big Chew right here. All right. Yeah. See, Michael knows what I'm talking about. Amy says the special gum was the zebra stripe gum. Very true. Do you remember that, Derek?
The zebra stripe? No.
What?
Maybe I just never knew the name.
Like fruit stripe? This?
Stripe? Okay, I kind of remember that one, yeah. Because I remember like that packaging, like the second row, like middle one. Like I do remember seeing that packaging. I never had it, but I do remember seeing that package. Yeah.
Yeah, fruit stripe was dope. Like it was so good. Like the flavors were great, and there was always like a tattoo included.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I don't know if everybody knows this. Like the 90s, it was all about the tattoos, like the water-based tattoos.
Like the fake one, like you just you slapped on your arm. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was so good.
So
were you a tattoo guy?
Oh yeah, like if something came, it's like at first I would think it's a sticker. It's like no, you put it in water and slap it on. I'm like, oh cool. So every chance I got, if that was the thing, I'd slap it on my arm.
Oh yeah,
it would come off in the shower the next couple days later. But again, it's a gimmick. It's not there for longevity.
No, it's not. But it was so cool, and like I remember you would go to like Pizza Hut would have like machines that would have like it was like a gotcha machine, but they would have different
correct tattoos in there,
tattoos and everything. Yeah, so good.
I remember that.
Michael says zebra stripe was it. Only lasted 5 seconds, but it was the best.
Fair.
Yeah, the flavor was gone in 5 seconds. Yeah, it was. And there was they would have tins. Let's see if they have the tin in here. See if I can find the one. We're going down memory lane before we hit oh yeah, we do have the tin can. Oh, ouch gum. Do you remember that, Derek?
No.
It was literally like it looked like a Band-Aid thing, but it was like gum.
Maybe on a random like was it Easter or whatever, maybe. But yeah, that's not something I remember ever having.
Okay, do you remember the bubble jug? The Bubba jug? No, it was the bubble jug.
Nope.
It was like powdered gum. You'd like pour it in your mouth and like the wetness would like you would turn into like it would solidify and you could start chewing and everything. Yeah, we're definitely going down.
That consistency reminds me of would be like powdered meat. No, thank you.
Powdered meat. Why are you eating powdered meat, Derek?
I'm not eating it. I'm just saying.
You're just like, I gotta get constipated. I gotta get my radioactive mole rat version of myself. Yeah, the ouch tin can. It was so cool. It was so cool. All right, let's get into the Patreon quick hits. Derek's like, dude, he's like texting me. He's like, dude, I gotta get up at like 4 a.m. and stop talking about freaking bubble gum. I got like 5 text messages over here from him. He's like,
Zach's
come on,
gonna
dude.
like buy stock in like all the bubblegum brands.
It's half cash, half stock.
Thank you. I gave you the alley-oop. I was hoping you'd take it.
Oh yeah, like D Wade to LeBron James back in the day. And I just slammed it in there. Guys, it's time for the Patreon quick hits. The Patreon quick hits are brought to you by our wonderful patrons. Go support the Nerd Cave by getting your very own Nerd Cave membership to help this 1.5 person business. If you don't do it, I know where you live. I can smell you. I can smell the weakness coming from you.
Wow.
If you don't have any bucks to toss, that's totally fine. You can get a free membership over there as well. But help us keep this show awesome and Eat Sleep Anime and all the other stuff that we're doing by going to patreon.com/nerdcave. Help this naked mole rat that's been radioactively infused, that is Derek. Okay. We've got Kevin. He's been on a zebra gum bender. He's so constipated because he wanted to be like Derek. He saw Derek eating his big red packs over there, and he's just like,
it was good.
He saw it was good, you know, and he's like, I got to be like Derek. Kevin's a special guy, y'all. So go over to patreon.com/nerdcave and get your very own Nerd Cave membership. Become part of the ship, part of the crew. Patreon.com/nerdcave. Time with the Patreon quick hits.
First up, Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 story DLC is possible if there's enough fan demand, says the director. Pragmata has sold 2 million copies worldwide in just 16 days. Kyloton is anticipating major layoffs following the Nacon Connect. One that I didn't have on my bingo card, Aliens Fireteam Elite 2 has been announced and is bringing 4-player co-op to the PlayStation 5, Xbox consoles, and PC this summer. The next official WRC game is being developed by new studio Grit Games. A new Paranormal Activity game from the Mortuary Assistant developer has been canceled. Project Ethos developer suffers layoffs, but Take-Two is sticking with the game. Civ 7 update, A Test of Time will finally let players stay as one civilization through all ages. Resident Evil Requiem DLC, Leon Must Die Forever, is out now and will unlock only after completing the main campaign. So probably because it has story spoilers, and that's the only reason that makes sense. Sony confirms PS5 shipments have hit 93.7 million worldwide. Sony posts a $765 million impairment loss due to Bungie's underperformance during the fiscal year of 2025. Sony's president and CEO hasn't decided on the PS6 release and price yet. Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight quietly adds de nouveau DRM weeks before launch. Double Fine becomes the latest Xbox studio to petition to unionize. Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green sold fantastically well on the eShop despite all the complaints about their pricing. Legendary Nintendo designer Takashi Tezuka set to retire. Nintendo expects the Switch 2 sales to decline year on year, but still pace ahead of the Switch 1. European alternative to Unreal Engine is being built by Guerrilla Games co-founder and Epic veteran Arjun Brucey. A rumor, Rayman Legends remake announcement could drop this summer, probably during like Ubisoft Summer Game Fest conference or whatever. Mouse PI for Hire has sold so well that publisher Playside Studios has already recouped its investment. Yuji Horii confirms Dragon Quest livestream is set for May 27th. Discord partners with Xbox, bringing Game Pass to Nitro subscribers. which is, I kind of called that when we talked about it a few weeks ago. I was like, this is only going to set up for a subscription. Like, oh, if you subscribe to one, you get the other, and vice versa. Aaron Paul will join the cast of Fallout Season 3 in a mystery role. Nintendo hints at unannounced Switch 2 games due later this year as share prices drop following console price hike. A Steam software update suggests 4 Steam machine packages will be available at launch. Stellar Blade 2 won't be published by PlayStation, potentially hinting at multi-platform launch. Lies of P sequel has entered full-scale development. Sega's ambitious Super Game project has been canceled. Sega confirms its revival of classic IP, including Crazy Taxi, are still in the works. EA James Bond veteran cites Batman Arkham Asylum as exactly what we should have done with the license. Performance controller Scuff Omega has been officially announced. Dead Space 4 is unlikely to happen as producer says the numbers just aren't there. Former Tekken boss Katsuhiro Harada to lead new SNK studio. New Nintendo Switch 2 bundles will let you beat the console's price rise and get a cheaper game, choosing between Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and Pokemon Pokopia. Forza Horizon 6 developer bans Pirate, who leaked gameplay footage until the year 10,000. Pearl Abyss says Crimson Desert could end up making over $500 million with a B dollars in 2026 and confirms DLC plans. Soros reportedly off to a lukewarm start with an estimated 300,000 copies sold in just its first 2 weeks. Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls episode mode is about 10 hours, but won't actually have any fights, which kind of defeats the purpose of a fighting game, but I digress. Capcom posts record profits for 9th year in a row, thanks in no small part to Resident Evil Requiem and series catalog sales. Devil May Cry and Dead Rising are among the dormant franchises that Capcom wants to nurture. The Talos Principle 3 has been announced as the saga's grand finale. Overwatch is coming to Fortnite with skins, map landmarks, hero weapons, and more. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced Ubisoft launches real-life $500,000 treasure hunt, but you have to pay to participate, which I think I saw, unless they corrected it, it's only $41 to apply, which, okay, $41 with a chance to win $500,000. Sure, I'll take that bet. The Legend of Zelda movie premiere date moved up 1 week to April 30th, 2027. And lastly, Arc Raiders will only get 2 updates a year going forward, and fans aren't happy. I have one more. Steam controller will Wilhelm scream when dropped.
I love the little like things that Valve is doing with like the Steam controller and everything. Like, and it doesn't have like a like with the PlayStation controller, like we have like a little speaker on it. It's not a speaker or anything. It's literally the rumble pack. Like when you drop it, not every time you drop it, but the rumble pack will make the Wilhelm screen and everything. So I think that's pretty dope. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that we're getting Overwatch and Fortnite. I feel like they're trying to get the Fortnite crowd into Overwatch and everything. It's like, hey, see, we're cool. Come and play our game and everything. So
yeah, sure.
It's
which
also
I mean,
weird.
Since they drop it, it's like, it probably won't have the same success, but you remember back in the day, the baseball team, the Tampa Bay Rays, they used to be called the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, and they were god awful, and then they took the devil out their name and they got good for a little bit. And so I feel like that's kind of like Overwatch in a sense, in like light comparisons. Like they dropped the 2 and now all of a sudden people want to play them again. It's like, we kind of enjoy this game again.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I know they're different games, and we've had like other game crossovers, like Halo's been on there, God of War, various things. But I feel like because it's a shooter and multiplayer focused and everything, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just kind of like, I don't know what Overwatch is doing anymore. I'm glad that they're making, strives to be better and all of that. But yeah. It's still kind of weird. Joe says, my computer is slightly worse than the minimum requirement for Black Flag. I'm assuming like it's going to be like your RAM. Is that is it your graphics card? Because either one would be very expensive to update.
Yep.
Or, just saying, I know it did have a price increase. Could just get a PlayStation Portal.
You know.
But I don't think Black Flag resynced or whatever will be on any of that. It's the graphics card. I got you. Did I sniff the chat? Yes, I did. I wouldn't say everybody smells good.
I know. I was waiting for him. Like, he's gonna look at me.
You know who you are. You know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Derek, as a final thought.
Mm-hmm.
Final thought here. Bubblicious.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Bubblicious was fantastic.
Yep.
And like they was like thick. You know what I mean? Like each one was like a thicker. Like you can see right here. Like that's a pretty big piece of bubble gum.
Correct.
Especially for a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
hey,
Bubblicious was dope.
It'll get you a jawline early.
yeah. But yeah, I was just like, oh, Bubblicious. Haven't like thought about that in a long time. I used to love Bubblicious.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to Retro Pond, Big League Chew. We already talked about all of these. I don't remember Carefree, but did you ever see the Bubble Beeper? Did you ever?
No, I don't remember seeing that at all.
Yeah, this was like a little bit later on, the Bubble Beeper, but this was the bubble tape. That 6 feet. I thought it was 5 feet. 6 feet of gum, Derek, in one day.
Mm-hmm.
Swallowed it all.
Wow.
Because I'm a champion. I'm not a quitter. I'm not a quitter.
Mama didn't raise no quitter.
I'm not a quitter. Like, you know what I mean? Like we go.
She might have raised a complainer, but she didn't raise a quitter.
Exactly. We go hard. We go hard. Well, there you have it, everybody. That is our episode tonight. Make sure that you hit that like button. We'll be back on Tuesday with some more Vigima games. Hopefully, we'll be jumping into Expedition 33. I just want it done at this point, Derek. I just want it done. I want to play other things. Like I'm enjoying it, but I just want to play other things.
Yeah.
I want to play, you know, Crimson Desert. I want to be where the people are.
Too.
I want to play Saros. I think, okay, I did want to hit this. Saros not selling as well. I think I haven't seen any marketing around Saros.
Well, I had a lot leading up to it because I mean, on like, especially on TikTok, where like I think like 2 weeks before the game launched, like I would scroll and just like be in the middle of scrolling ad for Saros, and I'm like, okay. See, so I don't think, but in terms of like big, like you see it plastered all over walls at GameStop, I don't think they did that this time around. I do agree with you on that part.
Yeah, I just feel like it was a more quiet release. Again, like on YouTube, I have YouTube Premium because I cannot stand ads on YouTube. Yeah. So I don't know if it was being pushed there, but I just feel like it wasn't marketed that much, you know?
Fair.
Which is sad because it's like everybody is like, man, this is a really good game. So
yeah,
gotta try it out. There's so many good games, everybody. Thank y'all for watching. This has been Zach
and Derek.
It's half cash, half stock.
Y'all have a blessed week. Bye-bye.